Hey there, guys. This is Ann, EANRN on Instagram, and this is my little channel about my crafting endeavors and where I talk about crafting all the things. I did a bit of floss tube previously, had 5 or so episodes, kind of took a big break and decided that I wanted to come back and share with you what I've been working on and what I've got going for 2026. My plan for today is to kind of do a WIP parade, and the way that I'm going to do that is just to go through my WIPGO board in the order that the numbers are. So I took a list of all of my WIPs and some new starts that I want to do and put them in a random wheel and spun it, and that's how I got my order. So we will just go through that. A little bit about me for anybody who's new and finding me since I've been gone for a while. Like I said, my name is Ann. I am a school nurse for an elementary school. Today is our last day of break. We go back to school tomorrow. And I have been a nurse for almost 30 years. It's hard to believe, but I enjoy school nursing and am thankful that we had a 2-week break. I started cross-stitching when I was a kid. I remember the very first cross-stitch kit I did was a 2 shades of green butterfly on, I think, probably 11 count Aida. And I, didn't keep it up. I'm a knitter, a quilter, a sewer, all the things, hence the title of my channel. But I have come back to cross-stitch full force and am enjoying it a lot. I still knit, I still crochet, I still do sewing. I make project bags and quilts, all the things, but this cross stitch has become my main focus. So let's just get into it. My first WIP is called Sweater Weather. It is a Mill Hill kit. Nope, Satsuma Street, sorry. Satsuma Street ornament that I started this season. I started it in November, on November 21st. This is where I am on that. That is 25.44%. And this is my first Satsuma Street ornament. I have done other perforated paper, but this is my first Satsuma Street. And so I'm excited to get to the beading on that. All right, and that was number 1 for WIPGO. Number 2, I got a mess here. Number 2 was called for WIPGO in January, and I started working on it immediately and got it done. This was my oldest WIP. I started this when I was dating my husband, probably in 1995 is what I'm guessing. So it was 30 years old, and I finally got it finished. So when I started, I have a before picture where I started before WIPGO this time. All of the cross stitching was done, but I had back stitch, almost the whole thing of back stitch to do. So this is called New World Map by Better Homes and Garden Country Craft Cross Stitch Magazine from back in the day. This was a kit, and so I used all of the kit fabric, floss, all of the things. And here it is finished. I decided I don't really like back stitching after all of that. But it's done. I have a frame on order, and so hopefully it won't take me 30 years to frame it. But that was number 2 for WIPGO, and I am excited that it is done. This is in a Me Made Projects bag. All right, number 3 for WIPGO is the Primrose Cottage Monthly Minis. I started these pretty soon after they came out. This is the book, and it's the 12 monthly minis. Each one is like 39 by 39, I think. And I have done January through July. So I just have August through December to get done, and I'll briefly there's January, February, March, April, May, June, and July. So these are on a 28 count even weave that I coffee and tea dyed myself. I have the fabric for the rest of them, and so when that one is called, I hope to get maybe a finish on that. So that is the goal. This is also in a Me Made project bag. All right, the next one will be a new start whenever it is called. Number 4 is Kitted Up, and it is Rosita the Llama by Caroline Kelsey of Stitching Kitten. And I am excited about this. I have gotten, I bought the silk pack when I was at the Stitching Kitten retreat, and the fabric, so it is all ready to go. It's a 36 count linen in the colorway Acai, and then the silks that are called for in the design. I am excited to start that one. So hopefully it'll be called earlier in the year rather than later. This is in a Sheba Designs bag that I got at one of the Queen City Stitch retreats. All right, next is my one and only full coverage. I'm not a real big full coverage person. This is called Kraken by Dark and Sexy on Etsy. This is in a portfolio that I made. I am using 25 count Easy Grid Lugana 1/1 full cross. I am at 2.97%. And I have all of my parked threads that I'm not good at doing, but they're there. Anyway, there's the little tiny start I have. I will put in a picture of what it's gonna look like if I ever finish it. This is gonna be for my husband if it ever gets done. So that one is number 5 on my WIPGO call. So we'll see how much I can get done when it has a focus. All of my WIPGO goals are to work on each project for 5 days. So not a huge goal, and 3 stitches is a day. If I touch it, that counts. So my board, my rules. All right, number 6 on my WIPGO board is Holiday Quaker by Leela Studios. This is in a Tiger Lily keeper. I am doing this on a 40 count Nor'easter by LFA Linens with the called for flosses. I started this in November, on November 4th of 2025. And I am doing the Merry Christmas adaptation. So the way that works is that instead of Happy Holidays, it's going to say Merry Christmas. And I started down in the bottom left corner where that adaptation is. And so my markup is what I use. In my markup, I have 2 different projects for it. And so for this part of it, I'm 21% done of the alternate start. I just have the bottom there, and then above that's going to be the Merry Christmas. So not very far on that, but excited to have that started and going. And yeah, so that is number 6. And then number 7 is also a call for this month. And I have completed stitching the goal on that one as well. This is in a Steno Stitches portfolio. And this is by Blackbird Designs, Octopus Garden. I love the colors on this. I'm enjoying it very much. And just because the goal is complete does not mean I'm going to stop working on it this month. I am excited about it. I am at 65.95% after working on it for my WIPGO call. And I have a before picture before WIPGO, and then I'll show you what it looks like now. So there it is. I'm using all the called for flosses. And this is 32 count Vapors by Rogue Fabrics. I do have 2 DMCs, the called for DMCs, as opposed to the fancy floss, because when I kitted it up, they didn't have those 2, so I just used the DMC. But that's going very well, and I'm very happy with it. So that could be a finish this month if I get a wiggle on it. Yeah, I'm enjoying that a lot. All right, so number 8 is the Gather Round series by Hands On Design. I should have dug up the ones that I have finished in this series, but I didn't. I'll put a picture in of kind of what this series looks like, or I might have, well, this has got the pictures. So this is Gather Wildflowers. And then there is Gather Pumpkins, Gather Pine Cones, and Gather Butterflies. And I have finished the Gather Wildflowers 3, the trio of those. I think they're in my finished box. I don't think, yeah, no, they're not in there. So I have the kit for this. It has all the fabrics, the floss, the batting, and then it also came with the rounds that they go on. So I would like to get all of those done and have them so I can switch them out seasonally. So the next one I would be starting would be the Gather Butterflies, would be the one I would want to start when it is called. Number 8. So I got this kit whenever it first was put out, and you got the installments. So I did the first 3 and then, got distracted by other things. Next is another hands-on design pattern. This is in a me-made project bag. I love Tula Pink's Tabby Road line. And this is the hands-on design mini folk Home Sweet Home. Here is the start that I have. I started this on August 17th this past year. Excuse me. And this is on 32 count Silver Moon Lugana by Yarn Tree using the called for DMC. And I'll put a picture in. This next one I can't find. So hopefully, as I'm going through, I've stuffed it in another project bag. I took it out of a project bag that I had it in because I was going to use that project bag to transfer to travel with because it was small and exactly what I needed. And can't find it, but it's the Candy Pop Bat. I'm at 63.505%. I started it at the Stitching Kitten Bootacular Retreat this October. It's a pattern by Bad Stitch, Amanda DeLong. Doing it on 16 count Ada. I've got my notes here, so I keep looking down. 16 count Ada Evil Queen with the called for DMC, and our whole table at the Bootacular Retreat started it. Peggy, Sarah, Jen, Alexis, Anna. Who else? Anybody? I think that's it. Anyway, we got that started, and I really want to find it. So hopefully I will. All right. That was actually number 11. Number 10 is a new start, and I just have Animal Cracker as the title. I have a few Animal Crackers. The one that I have sitting here is Millie, which is the elephant, and I've got the fancy floss for it. And I have the fabric. It's just not in here with the pattern. But that is another new start. That is on my WIPGO board for number 10 when that is called. Joy and Good Cheer is number 12 by Brenda Gervais. This is in a bag by Sheba Designs, a kitten Christmas bag. But this is Joy and Good Cheer. I started this last Christmas and did a little bit on it, and then it was on my WIPGO board for last year, and it didn't get called till December. So it didn't get worked on during the year last year, but I did work on it in December. Right now I am at 40.22%, and this is 36 count Affogato, a fiber on a whim. And I love Brenda Gervais and all of her patterns. So that is that project. So hopefully when that is called, it'll be before December, and I might, be motivated to get her done. All right. That was number 12. Number 13 is a free space, and I have down a new start, but I don't have a new start assigned to it. So whenever it is called, I will see what is striking my fancy at that time. Next, in a bag by my friend Susan that she made for me, is our two projects. One is Candy Pop Bat. Found it. So there she is. Here is the pattern picture, and there I am. So the bat is done, and I have started on the aqua ditties around it. So let me put that in the bag that I have assigned to it, which is the bag that I made at the Tiger Lily, the spooky starburst bag from one of the Lindy Stitches. Why can't Harvest Moon hang out? So yay, we found that. Okay, now number 14 is the Winter Woods Biscornu by the Blue Flower, and this was a class that I took with my friends Jen and Alexis this year at the Jingle Ball, and I did not finish my Biscornu, but I got 20% done with the pattern. So I got me a little weasel there. This is Barefoot Needle Art's 32 count Lugana in the seaweed colorway, and I did the DMC conversion. I am doing the DMC conversion for this. I started this on November 16th of 2025, and yeah, that's what I got going for the Winter Woods Biscornu. All right, that was number 14. Number 15 is in another Project Keeper by Tiger Lily. This is the Tiny Modernist Ornament Style, that she had at the Jingle Ball this year. It was released in 5 parts, and I am not done. It's out, and a lot of people have finished it, but I haven't. I started this when I went on a trip right the weekend before Christmas with some girlfriends to Lake Lure, and I started this. It was December the 19th. I am doing this on 18 count Natural Ada by Zweigart and using the called for flosses, and I'm at 38.85%. I really love the colors on this a lot, so I'm excited to work on it and get it completed, and I'll put a picture up of what it'll look like done. It's a digital pattern, so I don't have a copy of it. All right, next is number 16, and this is a pattern by Shannon Christine called Luna Moth. Started this at the Stitch and Thrift Retreat in Lexington, South Carolina with Sarah, Alexis, Jen, and Peggy. And I am using 32 count Artemis by Atomic Ranch. And this fabric is no joke. I have 2 projects on this fabric. So yeah, it's challenging to say the least. This is in a Me Made project bag. And here is my progress. I did not iron anything. I'm at 34.22%. This fabric is gorgeous. It's just dark and hard to see. And can you tell that gold is sparkly? I am very pleased with how this is coming out and what it looks like, and am excited for its number to get called so I can work on it again. I know I can work on it whenever I want, but you know what I mean. All right, so that is number 16. Number 17 is a pattern by Erica Michaels called Quilting ABCs. And I started this in April of 25, and I'm using 46 count Eureka by Fox and Rabbit. and I am at 7.05%. I don't have the picture of the pattern. I've got it stored away. It came out in 5 parts whenever it first came out. I kitted this up and got it all at one time when I was at Barefoot Needle Arts. So I didn't get it in the 5 parts, but it's kind of cumbersome to carry around. But I'll put a picture up of what it will look like finished. But here is my start. This is my first time stitching on 46 count, and I have to use a magnification and a light for pretty much anything but Ada with my 52-year-old eyes. So I just use my light, and it's not a big deal. This is in another Tiger Lily Project Keeper. All right. That one is number 17. Next is Moth Waltz by Owl Forest Embroidery. I started this when I was at the girlfriend getaway weekend at Annabella's in June of 25. I won this keeper by Creative Carol Designs. The Ultimate Project Folder and Traveler's Case is what this thing is called. I love this fabric. I'm obsessed with dragonflies, and this is just gorgeous. And it's got the 2 pockets. It's got a thread bed, zippered, vinyl, all the things. So this is obviously, like I said, an Owl Forest embroidery pattern, and Sarah and Leanne and I all started it at the girlfriend getaway, and we did a full color conversion to fancy floss because we didn't have the Owl Forest threads. So we just looked at the picture and looked at their beautiful wall of flosses and found what worked best for us. So I am at 29.18% on this, and this is 36 count wheat by Zweigart. And here we are. I'll put a picture up of what it'll look like completed, but that is my start. And I am enjoying that a lot. All right. That was number 18. Number 19, excuse me, number 19 is called for Teresa Kogut, Remember Me. Now, I started this in April of 2023, and I am at 51.45%. And I was looking last night, and if I do 1,100 stitches a month, I could finish it this year. So I might try to do that, even, and maybe replace the spot with something else. If I keep up with that. So I worked on it yesterday and got about 800 stitches in it. But I am doing this on 40 count mallow by Fiber on a Whim. And like I said, I'm at 51%. I'm using the called for DMC and Fancy Floss. And here it is. To make sure y'all can see that well. I don't have a board behind it. But I finished the background of the house last night and filled in the top windows, and I just have the bottom row of windows and door to do for the house, and then it'll be done, which is amazing. I thought that would take me forever, but I just love how the argyle is, and then just the colors are so pretty. And the pattern, it looks pinker to me anyway. It looks like it's more pink, and these are more peaches in real life, and I really like it. So I might be trying to get that one done for 2026, because that would be really pretty in a frame on my walls. This is in another Tiger Lily keeper. I was in her keeper club for a while, am not any longer, but I have quite a few of her keepers, and I have made a few. All right, next is number 20. So we're almost there. 20 is the Stitching Quaker. Stitcher's Quaker by Primrose Cottage. Stitching Quaker is what it's called. Get it right, Anne? And I started this on August the 4th, and am using the called for, stash color conversion is what my card says. I am at 42.81%, and I am using a 28 count Floss and Fabrics Fawn Lugana, and there is my 42%. This was a WIPGO call in August of this past year, and it was a new start for me for WIPGO for that block. But it is number 20 for this year. I just love that bluebird and that bee. So cute. All right, this is another Tiger Lily project keeper. All right, next is another new start that I have scheduled for number 21, and it is a Mirabilia, and it is the Stargazer. So I have it in a Sheba design, a Joyful Stitching bag that I won from the Colorado Cross Stitcher. I have it kitted up. I've got the beads. I just need to get the fabric in there, and that will be a start when number 21 is called. I started the Emerald Mermaid by Mirabilia, or Nora Corbett, at the Queen City Nora Corbett stitching retreat, and when I started it, I had the fabric turned the wrong way, and so it wasn't gonna. My cat just knocked something down. When I started it, it was too close to the edge and it wasn't going to fit. And I was quite disheartened. So I have ripped that out, but I have not restarted the Emerald Mermaid. But it's kitted, but it's not started. So hopefully the Stargazer will have a better go of it. This next one is in a bag by Sheba Designs. This is Halloween Quaker by Leela Studios. Got some Halloween kitties and pumpkins. I am doing this on a 40 count Picture This Plus Murky with all the called for flosses. I started this with Sully Stitches for Spooky Summer in June of 2025, and I'm at 24.69%, and there is where I am. So I will be excited to work on that when it's called. I am not an exclusively seasonal stitcher, like I can stitch on Christmas anytime or Halloween anytime, so it doesn't matter to me if that gets called when it's not in the season. All right, that was number 22. Number 23 is the other project that I'm doing on the Artemis 32 count by Atomic Ranch Fabrics. This is Books Are Magic by Counting Puddles. Here is the pattern, And I am doing the called for flosses, which are DMCs, and I am at 10-ish% markup. I scanned this in and it has it as two separate pages, and so it's not exact on my percentage, but I'm at about 10%. And this is just the book pages and a flower or so. And again, this is the hard to stitch on dark fabric, but I think it'll be really pretty when it is done. And this is in a project bag that I made. All right, that was number 23. I'm about to have an avalanche of project folders and bags. Next, 24 is Ducks in the Orchard in a me-made project keeper. This one, I love this fabric. It's kitty cats, and it's got yarn balls inside. So this is a pattern by my friend, and she is under the design name of A Gardener's Needle. Here is the pattern picture for the project. And I am doing this on Fiber on a Whim steel in 40 count. And I am started this in March of 2025, and I am at 19.05%, and I love it. I am real excited to get back to this. This is my first time using the Cottage Garden threads, and that one that's in the X's is called Salvia, and it is so pretty. I'm really enjoying that. So I am excited to get back to that. That is number 24. And then my last WIP that is on my WIPGO board, and pretty much my last WIP. So that's what I got. This is in a bag by my friend Peggy, and she made this for me, and I love it. And this is a pattern called Wear Wool by October House Fiber Arts. It's got a sheep on it. I am doing this on a mystery fabric, which I think is a third. Nope, that's the wrong card in the wrong bag. I really don't know what the fabric is. It's very thin, but you know, let's see. Yeah, you'll be able to kind of see through it, but there is where I am. I'm at 15.39%, and I am using this. I got this as a kit, not with the fabric, but with the flosses, and they subbed 2 of the flosses for DMC. So I am just doing what they sent me. I started this. This was a WIPGO call in December, and so I started this December 7th. Of 2025. And then, like I said, I'm at 15.39%. So those are my WIPs. I think we did it. If you stuck with me this long, I appreciate it. I would love to hear what you've been working on or what your plans are for 2026. If you have any, and like and subscribe and follow. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to leave me a message and I will get back to you. I hope that you all have a great 2026 and that your stitching time is plentiful and that even when life gets crazy, you take the time to craft all the things.